Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to show you guys how to achieve a puff updo like this with no gel. Yes, I said it with no gel. I don't usually use gel every single day because sometimes it does dry my hair a little bit, and also it leaves white flakes for the next day, so which means I have to like wash my hair after using gel. I guess it depends from person to person, but I prefer to use gel on special occasions. But this is a tutorial when I'm going to show you how to achieve it nicely and cute without using gel. So the products that you're going to need is the following. You're going to need the Anjaki's Not On My Watch Detangling Therapy. This is just to detangle your hair so that it looks puffy without like weird knots and stuff like that. And then another thing, guys, stretch your hair if you want a nice puff like this, like to be nice and high basically, because if you don't stretch your hair it kind of shrinks and maybe you might not get the look that you're going for. And then you're also going to need a moisturizer to moisturize your hair if you stretched your hair and it's a bit dry. And then I also used some oil. So it's kind of like the lock method, like the liquid in the water bottle, the spray bottle, and then the oil, this one from Anjaki's, and it is the repair oil. From Anjaki's. It won't focus. Oh my gosh. Okay. There it is. It's got some argan oil in it as well as Jamaican black castor. So yeah. And what else? I used this gel not for the actual hair but just for my edges. I didn't like use gel to sleek it up. You can, like I mentioned, but personally I don't prefer gel like that. So I just used it to do my edges over there. So yeah, let's get into the video. Oh, and then you just need an afro comb and a brush. So yeah, we can get started and I can show you guys how to achieve it quickly. So yeah, before we get into the video, please do subscribe and like and share this video as well. I'd really appreciate it, you guys. Thank you. Okay guys, so I already stretched my hair and it looks like this. Stretched out, I already washed it and then like put it in flat twists instead of like twists or braid outs. I feel like flat twists stretch it out a little bit more, but I know braid outs also do the same. So whichever way works for you, I'm just going to show you the process of the hairstyle called a puff updo. And it depends on how big you want the puff. Obviously, if you want the puff really nice and big, then you're gonna have to stretch your hair first. If you want it nice and shrinked, or you don't have time to stretch your hair, it also depends on the length of your hair and how long you've actually had your natural hair. So I'm gonna show you guys the process of getting a puff. So after stretching out, you usually find that there's like knots and stuff, so you have to first like go through the process of making sure that your hair is knotless before you put it up into a puff. So I'm just going to show you guys the steps on how to do it. So I divided it at the back and in the front as well. Okay, so I'm firstly going to start off with this oil over here. This oil is from Anjaki's. And because I've had my hair in like flat twists for a couple of days, I'm just gonna like spread the oil all over and also my scalp, just so that my hair is not completely dry. Rub it into my scalp. So this oil is great for repairing your hair. It's enriched with Jamaican black castor oil, which I've heard that it's really good for hair growth. And then it conditions chronically dry hair and scalp, and it has an anti-breakage formula. So I think it's perfect for someone like me. Or if you have dry hair in general. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is divide your hair. I already did that. And I'm going to use a little bit of, oh my gosh. And I'm gonna use a little bit of like water in the spray bottle because you don't want to like work with your hair when it's like completely dry. So just a bit. You also don't want to make your hair shrink, so just like a little bit, because if it shrinks you're back to square one. So you don't want that. So when it's a little bit like not drenched in water but just a little bit, yeah, just a bit of water, you just use this from Untitled, and it is the Not On My Watch Instant Detangling Therapy, and you just put in your hair. My instant detangling therapy thing was finished and I had to buy another one because it's so good at detangling hair, like so good. So after distributing it, detangle the hair. This is not really detangling, it's much of like removing knots, especially at the end, because you want your puff to look nice and puffy. But it also goes with preference, so yeah. And like I said, not too much water, otherwise it's gonna go back to shrinking and then you're back to square one. So yeah, and then I'm gonna do it at the top here. So it's just a little bit of water. Just a little bit like that. And then the detangling therapy. It's already shrinking a little bit there, so I think I put too much water. There it is, a bit detangled compared to the other side. So this side, nice and detangled and feels really bouncy and soft, and then this side is a little bit dry. So that happens usually if you leave your hair stretched for like a couple of days. So it's nicely detangled and it feels super soft compared to the beginning. And this is the hair that I lost from removing the knots, so it's not really a lot. It looks really good. I wish I could leave it like this. But anyway, now we're gonna start with the puff updo. But before that, I'm just gonna put on the moisturizer just to moisturize my hair. This is the Dark and Lovely Olive Oil Moisturizer. So yeah, this is just to add moisture to my hair. Not a little bit, because the Not On My Watch is also a bit of a moisturizer, so she just like that. And now I'm going to take my hair in the direction that I actually want the puff to be. So up there. Oh my gosh, this is a lot of hair. Definitely feels a bit softer and way more softer than from the beginning, but because of the water that I put in the hair, it shrinked a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see, it shrinked a lot more compared to the beginning. That does happen with Untitled products because they are meant to define your curls. So with 4C hair, when your curls are defined, they kind of like shrink a bit, and then it shows like the coils, but it's fine. This is just to ensure that it's nice and puffy. Okay, so now I'm going to use this brush to like brush it in the direction that I actually want the puff. It's important to use a brush compared to like a comb, just so that you can kind of like manipulate the hair to go in the direction that you want, which is like up. Yeah, I think I'm gonna use a shoelace and tie it at the back. Just make sure it's kind of equal, like this. And then you're gonna pull your hair into the position that you want it to be, as high as you need the puff to be. So you guys can see that. So I like it like this. I know some people like it a bit smaller, but I like it like this because it gives the hair a little bit of volume. And obviously if you want it to be smaller, you can go higher. So you just go like that and kind of manipulate the hair and see if that's what you want. Careful not to tie your hair too tight, because if you're someone that gets headaches a lot, it does give it a bit of like tension. So just tie it enough to make sure that it's stuck in place for the whole day without you having to fix it. But anyway, so this is basically how I do it without gel. And afterwards you just kind of like comb your hair in the direction you need it to be. Yeah, that's how you do a puff, you guys. And then you can obviously use the gel to lay your edges. That's what I'm gonna do right now. Okay, so I just laid my edges for a bit, and I used the Eco Style gel, and then now I'm just like laying them, and then I'll be back in a few to show you guys the final result.